Hey everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a bookshelf reorganisation. Now it doesn't feel like it was that long ago that I actually set these shelves up, but as time has gone on, as you can probably imagine, I have been reading and adding to the various shelves behind me. The bottom two shelves right now are not really ones that I'm probably going to do anything about, to be perfectly honest. That means that we are going to be working from these two shelves here upwards. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think what I'm going to do is something completely rogue, but I can't see myself changing where everything is and making a big difference if I don't take everything off. So I think I'm going to take each and every single book off these shelves. I can't tell you how many books that I have. I know you have to have, is it 900 to be classified as having a library, and I definitely don't think I have. The one shelf that I don't think is really going to change that much is probably going to be the Sarah J Maas shelf, because I'm super happy with this shelf and it is one of my favourite shelves on my bookshelf. But other than that, I can see a lot of other things moving around. Also, just to preface by saying I do have a gigantic mug of tea in this cup right here that I'm going to be drinking alongside, and I also think I'm going to continue to listen to the audiobook that I'm currently listening to on Spotify. There is some free audiobooks on here. I was getting like very confused and frustrated about the hype about it, but there is some free ones on here, and currently I'm listening to, I'm glad, if the phone is focusing on my face. I'm currently listening to, can you see that? Yay. Currently listening to I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which is a memoir that I've heard phenomenal things about, and she actually reads it, so that's one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to listen to this on audio. I just feel like it's so much better hearing someone else's personal story on an audio. So currently listening to this, I listen on 1.5 speed, and I am only 40 minutes in out of 6 hours. So I've got a long way to go, but I'm just going to slowly listen to it. Hi guys, so you can barely see my little head, but I've got all the books out and down apart from my Sarah J Maas shelf, because I honestly just think it's going to stay the same and look the same. And if you're wondering why A Court of Thorns and Roses is missing from this shelf, that's because I'm currently rereading. And then if you're wondering why I don't have the Assassin Blade up on the Third Glass shelf, it's because I actually don't own a physical copy. I actually read it on Kindle first before I even went into the series. It is a book that I plan to buy to finish off my Third Glass set, because if you guys don't know, it's the first ever 6-star series that I've just been obsessed with, and it's like literally changed my perception on reading and reading fantasy and fantasy romance, and reading fantasy and fantasy romance in general. But yeah, we've got all the books on the floor. I don't feel like there's that many here when they're out like this. I'm just going to see where my kind of brain takes me, and so shall see what happens, I reckon. Thinking that I kind of want to continue across this shelf, maybe with my, if you're looking at it as like one long shelf, I kind of want to continue here with, I think, my fantasy romance books. So that's like a tempting thing. So one of them would be like The Scarlet Veil. So I'm going to just chuck my Shall We My Heroine books up first. So I have the complete Blood and Honey Serpent and Dove trilogy, and then I also have the first book in the spin-off duology that she is doing, that is The Scarlet Veil. So, oh, I need to peel off this Waterstones exclusive sticker. Let's do that together. And off she comes! Doing something like that maybe first. We could like definitely have this be a pop-out moment. I have quite a few fantasy romance books. So I have the first 3 books in the A Touch of Darkness, Hades and Persephone series. So they could go on here. I have the Fog of Air trilogy by Holly Black, and I have the Stolen Air, which is the first of this spin-off series. That could go on here. The Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber, which could go on here as well, but they could also go maybe a shelf above or below because they're young adult. I have another kind of young adult one here that could go on the young adult shelf, I guess. Let's try and make a young adult shelf. These are all fantasy romances as well, but they're standalones. Wait, I'm completely lying. They're not all standalones. None of them are standalones. They're all the first book in this series. So I'll put them up there for now because I haven't read the next books. This is a fantasy romance bind up that could go on either of these shelves, I reckon. We have Fourth Wing, which of course can go on one of these fantasy romance shelves. Have the beautiful Quartet by René Ardier. I also have Shatter Me series by Tara Murphy, but I haven't finished it. But this is also like more of a dystopian. I also have the first trilogy in an epic fantasy series by Robin Hobb. I feel like that can go probably lower down because it's not like high on my priority list. I feel like this can go up here because I believe Shatter Me is young adult. I could be wrong in saying that, but I'm pretty sure it is. In terms of fantasy now, I only have these ones here. The Atlas Six is the first in the series. Six of Crows is the first in the series, but I don't want to read the second one because I tried multiple times and it put me in a reading slump. Throne of Glass, this is a duplicate of the first book in Throne of Glass. The Call, this is a great one, but a standalone from what I know. And then we have, this one is Dark Academia. I guess that the Atlas Six is also Dark Academia. This one is standalone by Bridget Collins, and then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab, which is such a beautiful edition. I don't know whether to have the stuff that I put up on that shelf here, or if I should put it in the shelf below, because I'm thinking you get to see these shelves here more in my Defeat the TBR videos. So I actually think I'm going to take these down. I'm going to swap for the Dark Academia and Epic High Fantasy to be a shelf higher. I have quite a few romance books as well, so I have some of my faves being like The Lucy Score, The Dreamland Billionaires by Lauren Asher. I also realised that I have the whole, oh my god, these are so heavy, all 5 volumes of Laura Olympus that are currently out. This is fancy. Ooh, I put it on the shelf for now, but it's not going on the shelf, but it'll be going on either of these two shelves, whichever one it feels like it fits. I think I'm going to put my romance series together. I'm just not sure if I want to put them on this shelf or the next shelf up. Okay, next shelf down then. What should I do on this shelf? It would make sense to put romance here, but I think standalone romances were here originally. I guess we could just put, it doesn't matter whether they're like in the same place because I have moved stuff around. Like Emily Henry wasn't on this shelf before, so that's fine. Then I have loads and loads of standalones here, or the first book in a series. So like this is part of a series, but I've only read this one book in the series. Same with Twisted Love by Anna Wong. Do I have any more? The only other thing I have that is romance is this dark romance series by Emily McIntyre, which if you guys didn't know, I absolutely adored this series. The only book that I didn't really like or enjoy was the bottom one, which was sad, but I really love the series as a whole. They've all been like 5 stars. So what I've got left on the floor is graphic novels and manga, and I also have my kind of thriller horror-y things. I also have my classics, and I have my memoirs and poetry. So that's what I have left on the floor. I think we're going to try and organise what I've already put on these shelves first. Okay, I'm going to start you off a little bit closer to this side because this is the side that we're going to start with. So I've got this weird thing where I don't... Oh my god, that was such a lucky catch. Oh my god, you eagle-eyed people will know that Fourth Wing fell. I didn't manage to successfully catch it, but it didn't rip or anything because it did hit my arm and then bounced off my arm. I'm just having heart attack after heart attack today. Jesus. This thing where I don't like putting hardbacks in the middle because I don't like it going like that much. So I'm feeling like putting the beautiful quartet on this side, I think. So we've got the Beautiful, the Damned, the Righteous. Then I'm thinking of following that through. I reckon we're going to follow that through with Fourth Wing, just because it doesn't have any paperback editions. And then Iron Flame will also go next to that. Actually, let me grab Iron Flame. Just so we know spacing wise, because I have almost finished it. Then I'm thinking Soul and Air, Queen of Nothing, Wicked King and Cruel Prince. That actually fits in there really nicely. Let's go for the Hades and Persephone series. I was kind of thinking they could look quite cool in the middle, like stacked like this, but there's just not enough room. Unless I turn in the Scarlet Veil. How does that look? I feel like it looks quite good. I'm going to try it with them standing up as well, just so I can see if I have a preference with the Scarlet Veil turned outwards. And then I've got that weird like book length gap thing going on. I mean, to be fair, I do have the next one, but I am literally trying to read this month, so that's how it would look with all the missing books in. Oh, that looks really good actually, doesn't it? Like that. Take them out. So they're going to be gappy, but there's gappy for a reason because these are books I already own, and I'm not going to be doing any more book shopping until next year now. So we also have for the shelf, I have the Lore Olympus series that can also go on here. And then, do you know what I am thinking? I'm just going to put these sideways quickly so I'm falling over. I'm going to put the volumes of Lore Olympus in this shelf as well. I think I want a turnout. We're going to have a turnout there. I am contemplating though putting this on the other side because I feel like we've got turnout, turnout, turnout. It doesn't look very balanced. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that more because we've got like a more balanced turned out books kind of thing. Okay, I feel like this side is done. My camera is about to die as well, so just as well really. Got this at the top, this here, this here. Now we shall move on to this side, but I'll probably have to film on my phone because my camera battery is about to die. Let's shake it up and bring these over here. This really special edition of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which has the sprayed edges, and I like to have it facing out. I just think it's a beautiful edition of a book, and also under the dust jacket looks stunning. Here's my options, and this is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take 50 Shades out. A, I don't have the first book, and B, I've also put them the wrong way. But that's not the important part. The reason why is because I have some more Tessa Bailey, so I have It Happened One Time and Hook, Line and Sinker that can go in here, and they kind of match the authors. But I definitely know that I'm going to take this off here because it just doesn't fit with the vibe of all of these. Like a lot of these are small town, romance, interconnected, found family kind of tropes that I really enjoyed, minus It Ends With Us. So because of that, I don't want to put 50 Shades in there because it's just a completely different kind of vibe. Okay, this is the next shelf that we're going to sort out, so let's give it a go. This is romance standalones. Oh, wait, just realised that didn't really work then because I put this on here and that's the whole series. So it's 50 Shades, but that's just not going on the series shelf, so we'll see how we get along. I feel like I need to put the queens next to the queens, so Sally Rooney next to Emily Henry. Sorry if that pisses some people off. They're kind of similar in genre where they write romances, but it kind of comes across a little bit as literary fiction-y. Actually, do you know what feels right to go in between Sally Rooney and Ali Hazelwood is Notebooks. I just feel like that's such a classic like romance story. Then we're going to go like this, I think. We're going to have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is a dual author. Right. These two then next because they're both part of series. Then I think we can have 50 Shades tucked in here. Why not? And then how about this series sideways? There is that shelf. Now done. Now the question is, where do we put the books that I have left? Okay, so these two shelves here are the shelves in question. The top shelves are also still empty, but I feel like I want to fill these ones out next. So we have thrillers / horror. I think I want all of my like thrillers and things like that to go on this shelf over here this time. I had them on the other shelf last time on this shelf, but I'm pretty sure I want them on this shelf this time round. I don't know why, I just feel like they would blend better coming from like this side than going from this side. My memoirs and things I feel like should go on a separate shelf to thrillers, but then I feel like with the memoirs should really go all of my classics. I don't know why that I feel like that. My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I feel like this has such a stunning cover. Let's pull that out actually. Then I have The Prison Doctor by Dr. Amanda Brown. I remember this being an incredible read. I really should read this again actually because I remember this just being such a good read. I'm going to pull you over because we're working on this shelf. But yeah, I remember this being such a great read. Milk and Honey, I reread this recently actually. I didn't put it in any of my Defeat the TBR episodes, but yeah, I feel like that's good. Then in terms of classics that I've read Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This has to have been from college, but look how far out these tabs are. Like, that is crazy. I used to literally just whack them in. Yeah, this one was a crazy journey as well. Actually really good, though I did enjoy it. I Have a Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. This was one that I studied as well in English. This one doesn't have as many tabs in, but they're still horrifically long. Carol Ann Duffy's Rapture Poetry Collection. I have one more of the modern classics from the Penguin ones, and that is Lolita by Vladimir Novovok. I actually read this because this book is referenced in My Dark Vanessa, and I got along with My Dark Vanessa, but this is just maybe a little bit too psychologically the other way for me. There's a lot of argument and debate on this book about the paedophilia displayed in it, and although I found My Dark Vanessa super healing to read, this I just found super uncomfortable. The Virgin Suicide. Finally, I have Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold on to this for much longer, to be perfectly honest, especially once I start reading more and more books, like classics, that I want to read myself, because I do have a couple of my book, like quite a few on my bookshelves now that I want to read. But this was one that I studied in, again, secondary school. If my niece ends up studying Romeo and Juliet, I'll probably just give this to her. I can't lie to you guys. I think I'm going to turn out this book because I absolutely adore the cover. I don't know what it is that does it for me with this cover, but I just think it's so cool. This is like a bizarre book. I wouldn't call this a thriller or a suspense or like a murder mystery or anything like that. It's just weird, but it's so good. Like, weird in a way that you just want to keep reading. It's so intricate and interesting, and I did really enjoy this. Wilder Girls by Rory Powell. It's so interesting. Then we just got a couple more. Careless Love by Peter Robinson. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This was another good one as well. You've got to hang in for this one, but the ending is kind of like, oh my god. And you see that like all the everything pointed towards it as well. The Hunting Party by Lucy Fowley. I really enjoyed this. I read something else by her recently on Kindle and I did not, but I really loved this one, so yeah. Maybe a bit of an iffy author for me. And then Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. This was also super intriguing and interesting. I think that's going to be it for this shelf as well. You know what? I think I'm going to mess around with these lower shelves because I feel like my graphic novel should go on this shelf here below the thrillers. So I'm going to mess around with this shelf and this shelf over here quickly, and then we'll come back and sort this out. Guys, I just explained to you what all of these books here are, and I didn't even press record. That's so humbling and embarrassing. All you need to know basically is this is like children's books, middle grade, and also like special editions of like classical books from like my childhood, such as Winnie the Pooh, like classic fairy tales, things like that. I am about to piss a lot of people off, I feel, or like offend a lot of people, because I'm about to put a horror manga on the same shelf as children's books, but these will eventually move over to the other shelf once I don't have so many textbooks out of the library from the university. I have Monstrous Volume 1, which is actually a really good graphic novel book. Also the art. Here's a scene from like near the beginning that's not too graphic. The art style is just insane with this. Got two more graphic novels, these Sad Ghost Club graphic novels. These have great representation of mental health issues such as ADHD, well, such as anxiety, depression, and all of those things. And again, the art style in here is beautiful. It is in black and white, but I do love these, and I have reread these as well. I just think they're great. There's one more that I haven't got. I have Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This is a horror manga book. Then I've got Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1, Black Butler Volume 1, and Volumes 1 and 2 of Vampire Night. I'm not the most obsessed with Vampire Night. Like, I don't think I'm going to continue Vampire Night. Actually, I know I'm not going to continue Vampire Night, but I want to hold on to the editions that I have. And then Black Butler, I've actually read Volume 2 as well of this, but I've read it from my library. Volume 1 of Tokyo Ghoul I've also read. Again, I'll show you some interesting art. Then I have some unread manga that I keep on these shelves. Normally they would be on my unread shelf, which is on the other side of my room, but these stay on the read shelf. Honestly, I couldn't tell you why. Volumes 2 and 3 of Tokyo Ghoul, and these are the only 3 volumes that I currently own of Tokyo Ghoul, but I'm looking forward to continuing, to be honest, because I've heard the show is not the best, so you should definitely read the manga, not watch the show. I kind of want to separate these because they're unread, so I think I'm just going to lie them flat like this. And then I have volumes 0 to 7 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't even watched the second season, so I feel like a fake fan because the second season has been out for a while. But the reason why is because I decided that I really wanted to own and read the manga. So I have volumes 0 to 7. I will be watching season 2 of JJK coming into the new year. I think it's going to be about my treat to self to watch the new JJK episodes either at the end of December or in the new year. So yeah, that is the manga section, and that is the new bookshelves. Let me give you guys a overview quickly and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, so this is what the bookshelves are looking like. I feel like they look so good. There's obviously some similar books in similar places, but I feel like it looks really good. So the top shelves are still empty for now, minus my side cards, but coming down we have kind of like standalone fantasy books, or this is like a bind up, for example, from a series. Then we have fantasy romance shelf with 2 gaps, one for Iron Flame and one for A Game of Retribution, because I am close to finishing Iron Flame, and then A Game of Retribution I'm planning to read by the end of this year, so they'll go in these 2 gaps eventually. Then down here we have fantasy romance, also more kind of young adult as well, so that's kind of like this row here. Then down here we have my memoirs and classics. I can't wait for in the middle of the night when all of these fall over. That's gonna be horrifying. But yeah, then down here we have, like I said, the temporary shelf, which is books that are getting donated or given to my family and friends. Books that I currently have on loan from the library because I've had so many assignments at the beginning of December, and clothes that are currently being sold. But then on the bottom here we have the manga that I have read up to the Black Butler volume, and then we've got the unread manga, which is my JJK, and some volumes of Tokyo Ghoul. Then we have my kind of like children's and collectors kind of fairy tale-esque books, as well as one middle grade. The next shelf up has all of my thrillers, horrors, things like that. Then we have, I guess bulk of this shelf is standalone romances, but then we've also got 2 series, the Stark Twisted series by Emily McIntyre, and then we've got 50 Shades of Grey. The next shelf up has stayed completely the same. This is Sarah J Maas Trashland here. One book is missing, that's A Court of Thorns and Roses. It does belong in between these 2 books, and normally these are a little bit closer together. But at the moment that is not there because I'm currently rereading the ACOTAR series, so yeah. Then the next shelf up is romance series. The shelf looks so good. I'm really happy about this. I was worried about it because it has so many bright colours on it. These shelves are filling out so nicely, and I feel like they look so good. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to move this round is because I have read a lot of books since I first put these shelves up, but also where I sit, you see these 4 shelves the most, and I wasn't very happy with the bottom 2 shelves. But now I'm so excited to sit in front of these to film my Defeat the TBR episodes and any other book videos that I end up doing in the future. That is everything for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here or like to see more videos from me, and I'll catch you guys all in my next one. Bye!